Hello. So this video might be the first of a series, new one. Um, I'm using sometimes a lot of objects, BMC objects, and we have a documentation about APIs you can find on developers.bmc.com. If you log in, you should be able to access the API documentation. So I'm going to try show it to you. Let's see. Yeah, you got some Innovation Suite APIs. So you have the Platform REST API, the Java API, the JavaScript API. So you can have a look at it. I think you can download it. So, but of course, it's not going really to give you. It's going to give you a signature, but it's not really going to give you any more information about it, like how to use it. So for example, the JavaScript API, we only have that. So let's see. No. So for example, the one I'm going to talk to you about, we don't seem to have it. And this seems actually very, very wrong. This is very old. So anyway, my goal is to take an API and to show you how it works. Not really one use case, but maybe all the use cases or the main ones. So the first one I'm going to use is the notification. We are using a lot. So I'm going to show you how you can use them. And here is a small description of the API. So we are used to see Rx notification message dot something and a message. So it will be under APIs, view component APIs. And usually we see something like Rx notification message dot success dot a message. Actually, you can pass an options object, which will contain some parameters. So two of them being the TTL and the enable HTML. So that means you can decide how much time the notification is going to stay on screen in milliseconds, 0 being infinite, so you will have to close it manually. And enable HTML, because by default we display text as text. Even if you enter HTML and you launch notification, it will display just the HTML code. If you enable the HTML, you will display it as HTML. So that's what this page is explaining. So the options is just an object with TTL and enable HTML. So those parameters are optionals. You don't have to send TTL and enable HTML. It can be one or the other or both. So you can use it this way. So here is the way that we are used to. And here is passing a TTL, and here is passing enable HTML true. And we could have TTL 5000, enable HTML. So this is a regular notification, info, success, warning. Okay, so we can force the TTL. So for example, 10 seconds. So here it's gonna stay on screen for 10 seconds. If I don't put my mouse on it. If you put your mouse on top of it, the message is going to disappear. It's going to pause the timeout. So the message should disappear. And here, for example, I can say, well, I want to send that as a HTML string. So here I'm force an example. So the word should be in bold, and I should display a message, a picture. And you can see it's working. Word is in bold, and I display my picture. So it's definitely HTML. So it's pretty easy to see. I mean, it's just you have to pass an options with TTL or enable HTML. And what is also good in this video, I don't think I talked about it earlier, is how to use a picture in your code. So in my case, you need to give this path. So coming back to folder, your bundle name, resources folder, images, and the message name. So here, if you see, I created an image folder under resources, web app resources. And inside of it, I have a.jpg, so a.jpg. So if you want to reference it from this folder, you will have to come back 2 times, then pass the bundle name, then pass resources, images, and a.jpg. So it's not really the path from your view component to access resources. It's more the path at runtime. That's the way it works. So it would be 2 folders down, your view component, resources, images, a.jpg. So you might have to play around a bit. I made a couple of examples for CSS and pictures in another thread on the community. So if you want to have a look, you can. So anyway, so here it was a quick video about Rx notification. I plan to do that for maybe other APIs, and it will be under APIs.